Porch light flicker on the siding. Moths dancing like...
Shocking. BTS's Jin name suddenly became a hot topic after it was revealed that he secretly participated in South Korea's local elections. In the midst of his status as a world superstar, Jin's simple actions actually managed to steal the public's attention and make many armies feel proud. The news coming from South Korea has again attracted public attention, especially BTS fans around the world. The figure of BTS's Jin, who has been known as a calm, polite, and rarely revealing his personal activities, is back in the spotlight. This time it was not because of his music schedule, stage performances, or other entertainment activities, but because of his participation as a citizen in a local election in South Korea. Many fans were surprised when various media reports and conversations in the online community began discussing that Jin was secretly exercising his right to vote without any major publication or prior notice. There were no special uploads on social media, no press conferences, and no documentation deliberately shared with the public. But it is precisely this simple attitude that makes many people give appreciation. In the midst of his status as one of the most famous global idols today, Jin showed that being a responsible citizen is important. Simple actions such as coming to the polls and voting in local elections send a strong message that democratic participation is the right and responsibility of every citizen. The news immediately spread on various social media platforms. Fans who initially only talked about BTS's activities began to discuss the importance of community involvement in the democratic process. Many claimed to be proud because their idols set a positive example without having to patronize anyone. Jin has been known to have a very good image in the eyes of the South Korean public. He often shows a humble attitude despite having an unusually large popularity. Even at the peak of his career with BTS, Jin still maintains a simple personality and respects his own privacy. For many fans, Jin's decision not to publicize his election activities actually shows sincerity. He doesn't look like he's looking for attention or wanting to get compliments. On the contrary, he carries out his obligations as a citizen like the community in general. ARMY's reactions were also very diverse. Many expressed admiration because Jin always managed to provide inspiration through real actions. Some fans wrote that they learned from Jin about the importance of using voting rights. There are also those who say that political participation does not always have to be done in a big and conspicuous way, but can start from simple actions such as being present at the polling station. This phenomenon also gave rise to interesting discussions about the role of public figures in democratic life. Some people argue that celebrities have a great influence on society, so their actions can be a positive example. But on the other hand, many also appreciate Jin's decision to maintain neutrality and not openly support certain candidates. This attitude is considered important because it helps to maintain the focus on the democratic process itself, not on the political preferences of a celebrity. This way, Jin can still show his participation without influencing the political choices of his fans. Since the beginning of BTS's debut, the members of the group have been known to often convey positive messages to the public. They encourage the younger generation to love themselves, work hard to achieve their dreams, respect others, and contribute to the surrounding environment. These values have been part of BTS identity for years. What Jin did this time was considered to be in harmony with these messages. Being an active and responsible citizen is a form of contribution to society. Although it seems simple, the action has considerable significance. Many observers of Korean popular culture also consider that the participation of public figures in elections, as long as they are conducted in a neutral and responsible manner, can have a positive impact on the level of public awareness, especially among the younger generation who are often closer to the entertainment world than political issues. This story of Jin then became a hot topic in various international forums. fans from various countries participated in discussions about the democratic system in their respective countries. Some even claim to be inspired to be more active in following social and political developments in their environment. Interestingly, the public's attention is not only on the fact that Jin votes, but also on the way he does it. In today's social media era, many public figures share almost every activity with millions of followers. But Jin chose a different approach. This choice is considered to reflect his personality, which has been known to respect the boundaries between public and private life. Despite her status as a global celebrity, she still maintains a personal space that does not always have to be shared with the world. Longtime BTS fans are certainly not too surprised by this attitude. They learn that Jin often does things secretly without looking for the spotlight. Whether in social activities, interactions with fans, or his personal activities, Jin often shows the same sincerity. Not a few armies reminisce about various moments when Jin provided help or support to others without much publicity. This makes the news about their participation in the election feel very much in line with the character they have been known for. On social media, this conversation also shows how the relationship between BTS and their fans has developed over the years. Not only is it centered on music and entertainment, but it also encompasses a wider range of social values. Fans often find inspiration from the actions of BTS members in their daily lives. Jin himself has been known as a member who has a high sense of humor, but is also very wise when talking about important things. In various interviews, he often emphasized the importance of responsibility, hard work, and respect for others. Therefore, many fans see his participation in the election as a tangible form of the values that he has been conveying. Not just words, but actions that show consistency between speech and deeds. In South Korea, voter turnout is often a concern in every election. Community involvement is considered essential to ensure that diverse voting groups can be represented in the public decision-making process. Therefore, every positive example that encourages public awareness has its own value. Although Jin did not directly invite people to vote, his actions have sparked many conversations about the importance of using the right to vote. This kind of effect often comes naturally when public figures set an example through real actions. Many international fans also revealed that they learned more about South Korea's democratic system after reading the news. The emerging discussions go beyond the entertainment world and develop into a broader conversation about citizen participation. This phenomenon shows that BTS's influence is not only limited to the music industry. As a global group with millions of fans, every action of its members can spark reflection and discussion on various social issues. Of course, the main focus remains on the fact that Jin exercises his rights as a citizen responsibly. There is no big drama, no controversy, and no attention-seeking effort. It is precisely that simplicity that makes many people feel impressed. As time goes on, this story will likely become one of the small but meaningful examples of how a public figure can make a positive impact without having to make a big statement. Sometimes, simple actions have a stronger impact than a high-profile campaign. For ARMY, this news is another reason to feel proud of Jin. He again showed
it'll do for today.